Konbanwa, samurai tachi. Kono watashi ga tadaima sanjo. Good evening and welcome to this evening's stream. I am your host, the Samurai of Tears, Namidono Samurai, also known as Pete Chips SG6. And if this is your first time to the stream, then welcome. I'm a variety streamer who likes to play those games which get ignored a lot, underrated, or forgotten through time. And I apparently have a black cat, which is now invading my stream and making funny flappy mouth things when I speak. I love the fact this thing works. I may try out a few different avatars eventually, but when my cam's not on, this one will do. Yes, it works! Thank you very much, Sage, for the resubscription, and welcome back. 14 months, man. Very much appreciate the support and enjoy the continued use of those little emotes.
I can't allow, so my dear friend Yuri, it's getting to the point now. Just Monica, 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 just Monica.
I still love that sound clip. Great song, that one. Great song. Although there will be no Monica this week. For tomorrow I will not be streaming, but we will be back to our usual schedule from Sunday. Am I making the cat sing along? No? Why would I make the cat sing along? And hydrate from Sage, so a good reminder to start off the stream with a good drink. I, at the moment, just have a mug full of milk. It is my go-to drink. I haven't felt well today. I've been exhausted and just going from one thing to the next. So just making sure my stomach stays settled for the stream. But yeah, this week has been so hectic. So I was in hospital this afternoon for a checkup on my eyes, which went well. I'm fairly happy with it. I've got the prescription to get some new glasses, so I'll be able to show those off at some point. Although on the prescription it just says, for my left eye, the word balance. So I don't know what the ophthalmologist is going to think about that one, but we'll see how that goes. It'd be nice to actually have some correction for my right eye again, though. So, yeah, it was good. But it's a full day, so I taught 3 lessons leading up to it, planned 2 lessons, planned 1 cover lesson for someone who's taken over my old classes, and then every other day's just been, like, super full, without breaks, after school interventions. I'm exhausted. But I did promise to Princess Sully that when they released the Ultimate Deluxe Edition of the Stanley Parable, that I would be here and show it off. Now, if you've never seen, heard of, or played the Stanley Parable, coming into this blind is exactly the best way to do it. Because this is not so much a game that can be finished, it is more of an experience. And I will be looking for input, because we want to try everything. Apparently they've taken the old games, it still has all of the old content, but they've added more. So I'm very excited to see what kind of new stuff they've got. I'll try out a lot of the old stuff, see if it still works. And hello audience! Welcome to the stream! I need to fix my cat. My cat's being a bit like, what? Stop tilting your head, cat. Recalibrate. There we go. That should be a bit better. Nice. Okay. Okay. Right, either way, I'm hoping this works. I did get it set up yesterday, and it did look like it was, but it was a difficult one to get OBS to pick up. So, hopefully, this will work. ink. Over here? Right. The Stanley Parable. It looked like it was on a boat. Oh, for me it just looks like it kept falling over. I'm like, nope. Stay upright, please, cat thing. Now, it does have an auto animation thing where its head will bob around a bit and its ears will twitch, which is really cute. I love that. Right, please enter the current time. Oh god, what time is it? 8:05 PM. Okay, this bodes well, doesn't it? That we need to know the exact time. Okay, it's nearly 8:06. I'll put 8:06 in. I thought having an avatar of the dumbest cat on the planet was a good tribute today, don't you think? Right, 8:06 PM. So the game wants to know what time I'm playing on. Hang on. Click. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I did it when I tested it to make sure I could capture the screen. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set to 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favourite time. Oh my god, it's already started. It's already started with the randomness. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Oh, like, seriously, there's going to be things you have to do where you have to close the game and reopen it, I swear. This is already amazing. Right, so, yep, it's capturing okay. Is the sound coming through okay? You should. Just a bit in the background here, like telephones and office sounds. And again, I love this. Like, when you play around with the menu, the computer at the back is like, that's the one I'm using. Ah! Right, okay. Let's begin. I mean, I could go into the credits. There's usually something weird looking in the credits, but maybe we'll try that later. Let's go. The end is never the end is never the end is loading. Never. The end is never the end. Etc., etc.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that
Loud!
had arrived on the monitor.
Not a good time for that stage.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Right, okay, so we're in the game. Onions, have you ever played this game or seen anything about it? Just because I don't want to spoil anything as we're going into it. But I am now in control of Stanley. I'm like, ooh, this is a nice office. Oh, I can press buttons. Click, 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 click. use the computer. And there's the clock, which is not accurate. You saw a wee video on it, but that was for the first one. Well, let's say this is a remake of the first one. It's the same game, but they've added stuff to it. So you know the rough idea. Now, one of my favourite endings for this, I'm going to try if we can pull it off first, because it's one of the easier ones to get. It says, Stanley stepped out of the office. Okay, nope. Nope.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
Nope.
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh. That's okay. Right, yep. Right, so can I do it again? Oh.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
So it doesn't make a difference if you do it twice in a row.
No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly.
That's a
the
bit
thing to do
disappointing.
now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break
Won't
me.
let me out now, though.
In here I can be happy.
Once you've closed the door, it won't make me close it again.
Stanley waited.
Oh, I can crouch.
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end.
Ooh.
He will be spoken to.
I got achievements.
He will be told what to do.
You can't jump.
Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
I tried to glitch over the
Here
chair.
it comes.
I tried to glitch over the chair, which is where you used to be able to kind of jump and get an achievement. You can't jump. Let's fix that. Alright, so that's what happens if you stay in the office. Nothing new. Okay. Hello? Anything here?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What do you think? Should we actually follow the narration the first time, or do we just doss around for a little bit?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Hello? Oh, yep, here it is. There's a... They still have the... Ah, nice! Can I fall out the window? Can I fall out the window? I fell out the window! Oh.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? No. Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
It's a large white area.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Oh, are we sick of this gag now?
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I kind of want to sit here forever and ever and ever and see if he gets frustrated with us. I don't think it'll make a difference, but it might. Yeah. Although highly likely that the narrator's not going to say anything if we just sit here. But Sage says he thinks we should goof around. Yep, that seems about right. But yeah, a bit of both. I mean, we'll go through the story. There's definitely. I mean, you goof around on the way. Although, if I get these critical endings, it's a bit of goof. I'm sick of the no. Yes. No. Oh. There's no doors in here. Why the hell is there knocking? Oh, see, now I'm stuck and I have to sit here forever, so I have to begin the game again. I think after actually it's going to make me begin the game again. Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'm kind of tempted to see what happens if we do say yes. So we did it again.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map
I just want to
until he heard his
experiment.
narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
See if what
He
extra
then
stuff's
praised the
in
game
here.
for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
I
So,
say, please
now that you're
do
here, what do you think?
chip in.
Isn't this a
If there's
fun,
anything you
unique
see or
place
you want me to
be?
try out,
Why
please
don't
let
you
me
take
know.
a minute just to
And
drink it all
I'll
in?
give it a go.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yeah, I say yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
I could go forever. Although, maybe not. Oh no.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton.
This was worth it.
Did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible.
How is this supposed to
And
be
if you are
miserable?
not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
I do love the narrator in this. But there's nothing here. We can't move. You can't go like beyond an invisible box. And there's nothing to interact with. Although pressing use gives you a sound like you're pressing the keyboard button still. It's all in Stanley's head. I think he's still in the room. I don't think he ever left. Now, there's some stuff in this game like where you literally, if you play for hours, will give you specific endings. I don't know if I could be bothered testing some of those, and like just seeing how long this music goes for. I think it might just loop. Yeah, what do we think? Shall we move on? Because it's just white around here. There's nothing. He's not saying anything else. Yeah, right. Begin the game again. This game is so buggy. Oh my god. Right, let's have a look.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Oh, this is Stanley's office. I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, I turned the computer off. That's cool. How about the photocopier? Can I photocopy myself? Nope. Okay. Alright. But he's doing a pretty poor job of making it miserable. I know, that was entertaining. I love the song. Right, okay, hello. Let's turn you off. Let's turn all the computers off. But it's like, that's 4, 5, 6 over there. Okay. Let me through. What's that one say? Awaiting input. Turn it off then. Oh, I pressed an input. What's this pink? Goes off. I wonder if there's other computers that are awaiting inputs. It's the kind of little thing I want to look for and just see, like, what cool stuff is there?
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
What? Oh.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
I forgot that one.
No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
Alright,
Now,
let's do it.
suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Okay, let's go.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly.
Oh, okay, 50 clicks.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
Okay.
I want to see commitment,
I'm
a
committed.
willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost.
All right, let's do it.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Where's 417? Let's go. Where's 417? Have we seen 417? Where's 417? 420. I haven't found 417 yet. There it is.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Where's that? I feel like I want to do this. Let's follow the narration. 427, 429. Where's 437? There it is.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415, 415, 417, 416, 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
All right, we're going. We're going to do this. If they're going to give me, I hope they still give an achievement for this. 4, 3, 7. Is this one?
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
I'm learning my way around.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Okay, how do I do that? Let me on his desk.
Yes,
There we go.
this is
Click,
great.
stop to it.
You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
He's so enthusiastic. Do I keep going, right? We've got to do this. We've got to.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yeah!
There's the achievement.
We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing.
I got the achievement. You clicked on door
You really earned it,
435
Stanley.
times.
Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
It made me do that as well. I thought I was doing it because I wanted to, but I did it because he told me I had to. Oh, there's a coffee cup on the floor. Alright, okay. Let's see what else we can find around here. Ooh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, so here is the first real decision we're going to make. The narrator says go left, but there's a door on the right. Which one do we do? Am I going to follow the narrator? Have a peek in the right? Okay, let's have a look. Let's go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maybe that's what we did. We just wanted to go to the employee lounge. That's exactly why we chose this. I'm going to try every door, like every single door I come across. Okay, employee lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It is a beautiful room. Look at it.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Oh, that's a nice painting. Do you think that's a nice painting? It's got some... Is that mountains?
At this
or
point,
waves?
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Now he's just
It's
being
possible
insulting.
that this is why everyone left.
Because Stanley has a great personality. Look, let's see a plant over there. I want to see.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Look, it's a plant. I'm stood on the plant. Okay, I think that's a good hint saying that if we've played through the dialogue here. Alright, can we go backwards? No, we cannot go backwards here. I guess the game is sending me a message. Onwards.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Okay, so there's an open door on the left, or there's this one straight ahead. Do we have a preference here? Door on the left or door ahead? That narrator is savage though. He's brutal with Stanley. So we've got the left. Onion says left. Let's go left.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Thank you very much for the luck, Miles Mincy. Appreciate it. Right, so we can continue going straight ahead like he suggests, but I seem to remember that if we take the lift, we get some different stuff going on. So we'll take the lift. You could have gone
Stanley
straight
didn't want
forwards.
to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
Yeah.
So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
He says, I don't want to go left though. So yeah, we'll go straight on next time we get up there. But the lift, I missed this first time I went through, and I was just like, what?
Oh, no,
No,
it's to the right, my mistake.
Oh, you what a troll!
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Alright, but there's no other ways. We can't go anywhere. But you did mean the left. That's good. Okay. We've got nothing else I can interact with, but let's go down. See. Oh, hello.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, I'm kidding. It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
Yeah, we
How
just
about, rather
ruined
than
the whole
waste my
story.
time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Here we go again. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, so, last time...
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Hello?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
Oh, there's more
Everything
doors.
should be... Oh, did something change?
There's more doors.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No.
Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
This is going to be new. I don't remember this. Okay, I kind of want to start with door number 1 if it'll let me. Is there a way to glitch up on top of these? No. Alright, let's go through door number 2. Where are you, story? Hello?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Should we start it again? Have I heard of the back rooms? What is the back rooms, Onions?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We'll try that again. I wanted to go through the right-hand door again. Wait, there's no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. Anything? Oh, well. Looks like an alternate reality that people glitch into. Is it like a film? A book?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Okay.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Right. I love this. Oh, God. We trashed everything.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
What?
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations!
I win!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it
That
really
was
paid
quick.
off. So, good job.
Yay! I win!
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
I did.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
There we go again. All right. Right.
All right,
Oh.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
If I don't want to follow the line. Alright, but we'll follow the line for now. Wait. Okay, this is new. This door was locked before. I'm just going to follow the line. The line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Where's this going? Alright, let's go. Alright, I'm trying to follow the line. I really don't remember any of this. Employee 432 peer reviews. Okay. I just want to follow the line there.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Alright, let's just stare at the fern for a bit. Huh. Like I say, the setting reminds you of it. It's a series of short videos. Fair enough. It's from a creepypasta. That could be quite entertaining. But yeah, looking at it. Am I supposed to do something with this? I'm staring at it. I mean, look at that. That's a pretty nice looking fern. That music reminded me a lot of the music from Disgaea. And it just made me want to follow the line. That's so good. Alright, okay. We were supposed to try and memorize the fern, but I don't think there's much to memorize there. Oh well. Alright, back to the line.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this... Oh, no.
Yeah, we're back here again.
How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
No, I was looking for 327. Alright, hello again. Alright, well, we have the adventure line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Which direction? Which did he open? He opened the door. 437. Alright, 437, let's go.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
Right.
What do you want our story to be?
Path is impossible.
Go wild. Use your imagination.
Oh, right.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
That was just going round and round in circles. Mike, it's changing the level as we go.
Oh, no, not you
Oh,
again.
the line's back.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
And then it's gone back to the ceiling again. Alright. Okay, hi.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Okay.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
No, can I go in this one? Oh, okay. The
Hold up, what's this? The
confusion
confusion
ending.
You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
Eighth restart narrator's gone.
determined?
After a long time, Stanley dies.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh. What? Okay. There's no narrator. Hello?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Cool. Stanley has someone at home for him. But there's no narrator. I think we killed the narrator, which was one of the endings. Oh no. So the ending of this is Stanley dies.
When Stanley came to a set
Oh,
of
no,
two
there
open
he is.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Aw. Yeah, but who could... Yeah, she called desk like 434. I'm like, no, Stanley's... Maybe there's only one phone in the whole office. I'm going through the right door again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room.
Yeah, it's just...
What a beauty. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yep, so we went through here.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah, we're back on track. So this is what happens if you come through the left door. We're back on track now. That's good. Hello?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
We have Broke Wednesday, financial panic meeting, boss's inspection, 42X, lots of groups. Cabal planning, okay. What else we got? The schedule. Weekly targets, admin, marketing, Mondays. Termination Tuesday. Weekly review. Pranking floors meeting. What to do about 432. Don't tell 432 about the meeting. Okay. Office party. Ooh, presentation. Mergers. Who is hot? Target demographic: teenagers. Stripes require more secondary research. The stock market is somewhere here. What have we got? Things. Violet. James, you are fired for saying happy feelings. Okay. Money. More money. Things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs about things and money. There's our new product. I love that. What else we got? Throw something in the idea bin. Space between the teenagers. Okay. We need... What's that one say? I can't see that. Chris something list. I don't remember. 402 and 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion of the primary review schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. This sounds like a good business meeting, right? We need more or less reviews. We're not sure. What else has we got in here? I love the little details that they put into stuff like this. Push for funding for R&D a new coffee machine. Standardized graphs. Not cost efficient. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Synergize papers. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers that are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergized guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on topic of something. Of the desk. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. Tomorrow. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Right. Next day's agenda. Reflect. Okay. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other co-workers. Resent co-workers for not supporting you more. Let it ball up inside you. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. Everyone is unique. You, most of all. Okay, thanks. Number of slides on this slide. Charts, slides, charts and slides. See, that's a good graph. You can't lie with those statistics. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Monetize free to play. That, again, that sounds like a game company thing. Please no more charts. Please, I'm begging. Stop. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out in triplicates and return to your boss appreciation specialist. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee, like yourself, but more inclined towards conflict, unless you're the kind of person who initiates conflict, why did we hire you? Remember that it takes oh god, these are so fast. What are your dreams for the future? Pollution. Metamorphosis. Mitosis. Don't get fired. Best tip. Yeah, that's the one, Sage. Tips for not getting fired. Don't get fired. Let's just take this into the future. Was there anything else on here? To print more graphs, more charts. That is a fantastic meeting. Stanley works in a great place. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No, he didn't. I wonder what was here. Very curious.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Future dreams. What's your dream of the future? Future dreams.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Yeah.
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Hi, what's your language? But look, there's a broom in the broom closet. It's so cool.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes.
Standing around doing nothing?
Yes.
Why?
Well, Stanley hasn't
Please
come
offer
out
me
of the
some
closet yet.
explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because there's water in the bucket, and otherwise,
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
this is
If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me, because literally, this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
It was on one of the notice boards. It said, "Get somebody out of the broom closet." So there must be a reason he was in here.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite."
Yes.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
No, it's fine. It is the best ending.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Just the random insults. Like, where is this coming from?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
True.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Nope. Although that might actually be the last line for the broom closet. Okay, yeah, we're finished.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Here we can.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay. That was amusing. That was the broom closet. It's a great room. It's very entertaining.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nah, no he didn't. Went downstairs, because there's red lights here. I don't know what's down here, but it's red.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
1, 2 people.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my god.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, yeah,
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and
What?
it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
Okay.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back.
Sounds good.
The fresh air of a world outside this one.
No, don't care about fresh air, just...
Let me wake up,
Bed
he
would be
thought to
good.
himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, Stanley. No, you're not.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
So the insanity ending?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, And in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Huh. So, yeah, that's an ending. Right? Yep, back in his office. But yes, Onions, the closet ending is also my favourite ending. It is a good ending. And, yeah, I like this... Oh, this game plays...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, okay. I mean, there's a few things we haven't done. Oh, there's new content here. It says new content. Let's do it.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Here we go, Sully. If this is this is new stuff. Hello? Huh. We're getting into the inner workings of the building?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
You're
As
welcome.
you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay. Oh, okay, new stuff. Once, can I go back? Nope. I kind of want to try, like, any...
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Really? Because we're not going anywhere.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I am really curious to see what they've added to this.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Some white walls.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Press space to... We could jump! Oh my god, we could jump! Can I step out the circle and jump? No, you can only jump inside the circle. Oh yeah! Look, I could jump in the Stanley Parable. Come on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can't jump anymore. Oh, that was amazing. Worth buying the game just so we could jump in a circle. That is so much fun. Give me more jumps. Let me jump. Is it actually...
Is that it?
No.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I hope so. Hello. Oh, another lift.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
So we just get entertained on the lifts by the narrator. Okay. Hello. Can't close the door.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me, really, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me.
I hope that's not all the new content.
Like
2 lifts and some jumping.
What do you say, friend?
Okay, it's forcing us to restart again. Posture check, folks. Posture check. Wait. We're in Stanley's office, but this is new. This is very new. Hello? We have... Oh, a picture of his old office. Right, okay.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Alright, you know what? I'm game. I'm going in the vent. So just... I've got to remember all the things we have done so we can try the bits we missed. Of course, there's extra content. There's no way they would release it with just that one little satirical section.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Ooh.
Take a look.
Ooh.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Huh.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
This is pretty cool, though. I like this. Although, that's not the right time, is it? No, it's not. I put the time in, and you've ignored it. Buy on Steam. Good times, good times. What's it say on these cups? Can we actually make that out? Coffee, nuts. 1951. Smile because it happened. A trip down memory lane. The Stanley Parable demo. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Huh, achievements. It's impossible to get this achievement. Oh. New video game releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. 50% off designer hats. Huh. What else we got? Stanley Parable deals tough choices. Oh, it does. Some of the choices and stuff. This seems very just narrated and streamlined at the moment, with no choices at the moment.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I'm gonna get another elevator. Oh, okay. Hello. Can't go outside. More pictures of the Stanley Parable. Bicycle.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Nowhere else to actually go here, so just following the path.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Let's head down to the basement.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Yes.
I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
There's got to be some really sarcastic reviews here. Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
A thing to interact with. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? We have more Steam stuff. Can't read those textures. It would have been cool if they put more of these reviews in.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
Yes, you are a little bit.
Tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I still think it's as good as I remembered it.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards,
I think he's just talking random stuff
becomes
there.
impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years. Until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back.
They just
and
put him on a
never minute
microphone
before
that
lunchtime.
said,
It can't be. It's the only
just
thing
say
there is.
something
How many
random, we'll
billions
record
lived
you.
Until so much more than forever ago. Which is why I say, the story and the choices,
And then it
or
just
what
repeats.
have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably.
Yeah, skip.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature
might
of
just
choice
keep
in
hitting
video
skip
games.
as well and
Of
see what
course,
happens.
I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can
Oh, skip.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless
Skip.
display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about.
Well, the door's
I know,
gone
it's
now.
shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button.
Button.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
I noticed that.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea
Button.
what will happen. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
Oh, the plant's dead.
Goodness, I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all.
Button.
It isn't even...
Hello.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for
Oh,
you.
please don't.
To begin with, there is only...
Skip. I think the narrator died. There's a definite sound. Something's going on in here. Skip. What's the alarm for? Like, again, there's a weird slidey sound. It's like, shh. Don't know what that is. But, skip.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all...
Skip. I can't skip anymore. Oh, no I can. Oh, that's what that sound is. The button comes out. Skip.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the...
Skip. Oh, we've got a leak. A very leaky roof. Skip. Oh, there was a storm and the roof's caved in. Well, maybe this will give us a way out eventually. Skip. Hey, it's sunny outside. I wonder how many centuries we've passed doing this. Skip. Oh, the fern tree's grown into a gigantic bush, and that's good. Skip. Oh, oh. It all died again. Skip. This is what the game is now. It's just skipping ahead. Skip, 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 skip. Don't know what that black mark is on the back. Skip. Oh. Oh. Okay. Wow. Okay. This is weird and impressive. I mean, at any point, it should just probably restart the game, but... Like I said, I'm still waiting to see if anyone does have any suggestions, anything they want me to try doing. Otherwise, I'm just going to do random stuff. I can't press the button anymore. The button is broken. I guess we just go walking. We go... Hello? Oh. I think we reached the end of time. Aha, right, okay, hello.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Right, we're back
What
to the
could it
beginning
mean?
again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And that was new content. Look, new content. Okay,
Oh,
we have
good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Let's go. I saw the big sign, the big neon new news content sign. This is so weird. Right, I want to go that way. I want to go that way. Alright, right into the lift.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it, one step even further.
Wait, what?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built
That
from
would
the
be cool.
ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
It is a new one, but there's so much new content here.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
They're back. 2 doors. Okay, we still haven't finished with the doors yet, and I'm going to forget which ones we already did.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around
I love
them.
that.
It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Who took the red marker? Me. Dum-de-dum-dum. This way to the show floor. New features. Okay, what new features have we got? Because there was a jumping circle. That was a new feature. That was amazing. That was worth buying the game for, was just to get the jumping circle.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Ooh. Forgot. Exclusive. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game? Oh no. Do I want to do this?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Oh no.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh no. Oh no. What's it gonna say?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay, I'm Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply?
Yes.
Are you really, truly Jim
Captain
right now?
James Teacup.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I am Jim. It would be really cool if my name was actually Jim and you press that and go, oh my god, what? Imagine how much your mind would be blown coming into this blind and going and pressing that button and it going, Jim. If you really thought, oh my god, I was worried it was actually going to try and say my name.
Jim.
Oh wow! Oh my god! Wait, how did you know?
What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too
No.
emotionally drained from all of this personal Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much,
No,
Jim.
can't be too much
I'm
Jim.
putting the Jim button away.
No.
Otherwise soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
Aw, spoil sport. I wanted to press the Jim button some more. Alright, well, what are the new features have they added to the game? enjoy.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That... An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay, so what's this one? Free new plus easy achievements. Okay. Let's go over there. We've got Infinite Hall, free achievement, and settings world champion. I want to get the free achievement. What to do for the free achievement? Pull the lever, receive a new achievement. No more steps. Oh yeah, let's do it.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Accident.
Yes.
By
you
accident.
see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Jimmy! Jim. Peaches. I'm now Jim, am I? Because the button said Jim. But you two could be Jim. We could all be Jim, Sage. All you have to do is imagine yourself
What
as
else?
Jim.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
What's up here? Can you find them? Collect them all. Oh, right, collectibles.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, this is cool. Gimme. Hey! 1 out of 6. Cool. No more in that. Can we find them? Are there actually going to be 6?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Oh, yeah, if anyone sees any of those little bobblehead things and I miss them, please do shout. There's got to be. Right. Jump circle, we got this map free achievement, button that says the name, merch, and the settings world champion. We still need to do those. The reassurance bucket. Okay, let's go find some more stuff. Merchandise. And the reassurance bucket. And whatever this one is. Oh, please no screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Ooh, which ones would we go with? Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, or Get Well Someday? Okay. I like this one. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, just for Stanley.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Oh, I wonder if I went with the other one, if you'd go with that. Yes, Princess Ollie, we have the same mindset. Jim. Oh, look, you put the balloons everywhere. Oh.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay, moving on. Right, we got the free achievement. We did that, whatever it was, the redecoration. What's this way? Oh, the infinite hole! Yeah, let's go find the infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I'm a bit worried going down there because it might mean that you have to reset after going into it, and I kind of want to finish exploring this place first. So I'm going to come back to the Infinite Hall. And they put a roof on the Infinite Hall. That's interesting. I don't know why. But no, we're going to go and have a look at everything else first. Because there was the reassuring bucket, which is kind of like an offshoot of the helpful onions, isn't it? It's not helpful, it's just reassuring. Oh, the jump circle's back, though!
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yes.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Oh, so if you didn't spend them all, you could jump here? Damn it! Hey, Turtle! How you doing? Well, welcome to me running through the new content for Stanley Parable. We've only waited, what, like, how many years for this? But how you doing? We've got merchandise. I would actually buy that. I saw the new content. That's a good t-shirt. Right, you heard Jim in the game. It did! Let's see, he changed that. Right, where do we have to go? That was the epilogue. We saw the epilogue. New features, new content, new ideas. How's it going? The game so far is absolutely insane. It's been as sarcastic as you would expect it to be. We went through the memory hole thing was good, where we started looking at reviews of the game inside the game, and the narrators had another complete existential crisis. And there was a button that says Jim every time you touch it. That was amazing. But there's got to be more collectibles. I want more collectibles. I only have 1 out of 6. That place is too dark. Also, wasn't there? Where's the bucket? I've completely got myself turned around. I don't want to find the bucket. So somewhere on there was the Stanley Parable reassuring bucket. It's B. So if I go through a tunnely bit and turn left. So if I go through this tunnely bit here and turn left, is it over there? There it is. You're doing well. I'm glad to hear that, but so little tired yet. Today is definitely a day of being
A common
tired.
complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Give me the bucket.
Give it a try.
It's like the companion cube, but it's a bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Thanks.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
We'll have a bucket. I'm so looking forward to it. Let's take the bucket with us everywhere now. and fall down the hole with the bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
I don't think
That
so.
really should be an award if it isn't already.
So we've done the office decorations, we've done the button that says your name, but there's a button that says Jim at the moment. We've done the jump circle. It's just the infinite hole left. This is the best new feature of the game. Should we go that way? Let's go. Well, I've got my bucket now. Clicky, click, click, click. Oh, this space-like infinity, distant space-time, hole-like infinity. Time versus deeper. I think the word is depth. You looking for there? Crazy scientist people. Alright, so the greatest new feature for the Stanley Parable 2 is a hole that you can infinitely fall in, which has apparently never been done before. Let's do it. Hi, hole. Okay.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One
Oh.
of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh, that's cool. Or I can just keep falling.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Why? It's
Do
infinite.
it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Is it not infinite? My guess is the hole's not actually infinite.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole.
Oh, no.
I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Ow.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You
Yeah,
found
so I'm
out,
coming.
Stanley.
So-
You're a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I'm going to hang around for a little bit at the bottom here. It was predictable, but still amusing. Just that clunk. And you hit the bottom, it's like, dong. Nothing down here. I've got my bucket, so, you know, we're okay. I feel vaguely reassured with this bucket.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Oh, and look, the sign's changed to say mostly infinite hole. I like that little feature, because they did that with the button as well. The button that says your name, no, but it's now a button that just says Jim. Okay. Is there anything left for us to actually look at now? Or should we, I think we've seen, sorry, I think we've seen everything. I'll go find the map. And have a quick gander. Otherwise we'll just leave, I think. Infinite hole, collectibles, epilogue, office decorations, the bucket, the settings world champion. I don't think I did that one. Right, okay. Where is the settings world champion? Looks like sharp. Okay, so it's a hash. Hash, there we go. So again, through here and directly on the left. Oh, hey, it's Eden Reading Party. It's just possibly partly me as well. Hello, Eden, and anyone else that's come in from Eden's stream. I am the Samurai of Tears, Namidano Samurai. How was the stream, Eden? Like, just as I come in, you're playing some Dragon Age 2. I was like, yes! Now that's some timing. Welcome. Oh, we've seen this a bit. We saw that. some buttons. Decorations. Yeah, if anyone who's currently watching here, though, and you're not already a follower of Eden, go drop a follow on there. She's a fantastic streamer. Plays pretty much all of my favourite games at the same time. So, well, worth keeping an eye on. Ooh. Hi, Settings World Champion. I don't want to begin the game again. Yeah, oh god, the combat actually initially bugged me for Dragon Age 2, because I love Dragon Age 1, and I'd played it as a PC tactical strategy game, and then they released 2, and it's like, oh, this is all console-y, but having gone through it, yeah, definitely, big fan, big fan. And you're going to make Carver like you? Oh, you saved Carver, no. I hate Carver, I hate that character so much. So good luck with that one. I think we've done everything. Look, we've got the button that says gym. There's nothing in the merchandise. Like, we couldn't actually grab anything. Got my bucket. I think, oh, was that the hole? That was oh no, that's where the bucket's from. And we did we did this bit? Yeah, we definitely did that bit. The settings champion was nothing. There was nothing there. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. So you hate him too, so that's why you're sending with the grey ones. Nice choice, Eden. Nice choice. See, we always have the same opinion and things. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's the reason we get along so well. Right, I think it's time to exit Stanley Parable 2. I think we finished it. I can't see anything else that we can actually do here.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yes.
Ready to move on now?
Yes. I have the bucket. I want to take the bucket through the rest of the game. That's quite a cool art piece, that, though. Picture of Stanley, but with his office overlaid. Ooh.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Oh, no. Oh.
Okay. Are you ready?
No, I'm really
Here it
not.
is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this.
Just trying to get a better view.
Version 2.
More
Who
holes.
am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Oh,
This,
yes.
of course,
Please
with
do.
respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
Let's try it. Come on,
Suppose it
please
could,
let me try
but
it.
It would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
The Stanley Parable 2. Alright, let's have a look. And yes, Sage, we do have very similar tastes in ideas. Often it's why we get on so well. But say, with me and Eden, though, it's like we play the same games. We like exactly the same games. When we make characters, we tend to go down the same pathway. It's absolutely insane. Even without talking, like we'll go, "Oh, I'm playing this game. Ah, I'm playing it too. Really? What character have you made? This one. Oh, I made that one too." It's so good. Right, begin the game. I'm hoping now that we get to play the Stanley Parable, but with some of those new features randomly added in.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Do we have a new intro? That would be cool.
Stanley worked for a company
Yes!
in a big building where he was
Those
employee
balloons!
number 427. Employee number 427's
Wasn't that?
job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long
I just want to
push,
see if this is any
and
different.
in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Oh, and the camera's panned out to show the room.
Was happy.
Right, okay, come on.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Not the
Something he would
game I
never
thought I
quite
was
forget.
playing.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him
But
instructions.
look, the balloons are
or a
there.
meeting, or even say hi.
Oh, that's amazing.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, let's see what the stuff they've managed to build in then.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I love this,
What could
though.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes! We have my reassuring bucket now. Oh yeah, game is complete. This is the complete version of Stanley Parable now, because you have a bucket you can carry around. But the new content's gone. No! This door used to be... Oh, I'm sad now.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, well, we're going to go through the door on the left. Let's just see what we find.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Alright, let's go. Broom closet.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy.
They put-
It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket.
Add
This is your
this to the
companion
broom
and
closet.
lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no.
Oh, this is
You
brilliant.
need a name calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
Same,
Go
Sage.
through each
Same.
of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Can I give him the bucket? I want to give the cupboard the bucket because I love this broom cupboard. Won't let me.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now
Property of
it's settled.
Stanley.
No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their
boy.
relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
I can't believe they added to the broom closet story.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here,
Oh,
and I'm going to slap
yes.
it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say
Why
to
would you
yourself,
think-
it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Okay. Right, can I do anything else in here? I still can't interact with anything. It won't let me drop
You know
off
what?
the bucket.
I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Bye. God, I want to get rid of the bucket. Alright, okay, we go outside. Come back in? Nothing? Nah, I think we've worn out the broom closet. Bucket's my friend, but to be a true friend, he would find his home with the broom. And the bucket belongs with the broom, and as his true friend, I'd be willing to
Coming
give
to
him
a
up for that.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, like last time we went down here and ended up in that weird, confusing ending. Right, although I didn't have the bucket last time. But let's go upstairs. Let's go upstairs this time. God, there's so many combinations we could do with this. Oh, nope, I don't want to go there. Hello?
Stepping in.
Oh, I broke something. What's this bit? To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Okay. Still looking out for bobbleheads, by the way. Alright. Did I break this game by not going in there? Maybe not. I think I did. I broke it. I'm supposed to go in that room and I backed out when the doors closed on me. Oh well. Guess I'm going downstairs then? Oops. No? Alright, all the doors are closed now. Oops. In here? Close that. All the way back. I don't think there's gonna be anything. But I broke the game. Somehow. No. The narrator's not even talking to me, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. There's a door. Oh, what? You are now leaving? Ooh. Escape bot. Oh. I never found this ending before. Is this new? No, I'm sure this was in the original one. So that's how you do it? You back out of the director's office before the door closes. That's so trippy. be what? 756. I have a bucket, so yeah. Like, wait, is every single floor exactly the same? So are we just playing? It's like, is there a Stanley on every floor? And therefore, each game that you're playing is just on a different floor, and just a different Stanley waking up in his version of 427. What? I do believe my mind is actually blown at this point. Bucket, protect me. There's something there, I just can't see. Alright, okay. What is it? What is it? Hello? Escape pod? Bucket! I'm gonna let the bucket escape. Shh. No. You save yourself, bucket. Don't cry. I shall miss you, bucket. Oh my god, this is so sad. We're gonna lose the bucket. This is beautiful, but we saved the bucket. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
There's no bucket. Oh, we saved the bucket because we sent the bucket off.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, we did that. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay, I just love going back to the broom closet. Nothing, there's nothing here. Alright, fine, I'll leave. There was some good times in that closet. Right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So, what happens if I do that again, but without the bucket?
Stepping in...
Right, so it was do that, and then all the way back, because all the other doors are closed. I'm guessing that was all you could do with the bucket, although having the bucket and going up through into the boss's room properly must have a different ending. Maybe it doesn't do much, but different narration at least. So it's a little bit annoying that we've lost the bucket. Like, I want the bucket, man. Give me the bucket back. I wonder if I go in there now, if the bucket will be in there. I'm just really curious to see what we can do with this. Right, so we had to go up quite a few floors. 755, 756. Seven, 758. 759. Yep. And then this will be 760. Which has got the escape pod launch bay. Let's try this again without the bucket. Oh, just goes black. Okay, that wasn't worth it. Right. Maybe this time we should follow the thing.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
1,327 cardboard boxes. The bucket's back! I got a replacement bucket. Mine. Come on, bucket.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
I saved it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here.
Nope.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Broom closet.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
No stickers. But broom closet and bucket. Alright, let's go. Upstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay, so this time I am going to go into the boss's office. Let's go in.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always.
It is the companion
The bucket
cube, isn't it?
And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Oh, thank you.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
This is the best of buckets. Come on, bucket. Let's go complete this game. I was hoping for the gym button. Like a button there that just goes gym.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Doesn't matter what you do here. If you've got the bucket, this is all new content.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Mind control. I'm going to follow the narrator this time, but we can go left and escape. Ooh. Got the bucket, though.
The lights
Jim.
rose on an enormous
Jim.
room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
But we've seen this room from up there a few times. Bucket. Yeah, Bucket is true friend.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Okay, Bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
That's a good question.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Alrighty.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Alright. Facility power. Alright, Bucket, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do,
When
Bucket?
at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So what do we do? Do we turn the power off and make sure this mind control facility shut down forever? Or do we turn it on and see what happens? I'll leave this up to you guys to decide. You can pick my fate. Because we'll come back and do the other one anyway. Onion says on. Okay. Bucket, we're turning this on. I'd take the first answer, unfortunately.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Evil Bucket.
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Birds? Flying birds? Oh.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Aww. Bloop. Aww. That was such a cute ending. That's an ending, right? That had to be an ending. It was. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Right.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms,
Took the bucket.
and a wave of comfort rushed over
So
him.
I'll do the same thing, but this time we'll press the off button, see what happens. Like, if I can, as long as the game lets me. We'll follow the exact same path.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
Because
to
this
his
still
chest. and
haven't
entered the door on his left.
still haven't seen the gym button or the infinite hole or the achievement
Still
lever.
no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find...
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can...
Coming to a staircase,
Only
Stanley and the
one
bucket
line.
walked upstairs to the boss's office.
So basically, you could play the entire game and go for every ending.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
What
human
was it?
life.
2...
Crushed by the weight of this revelation,
8,
Stanley
4,
may
5
have
or
broken
something?
down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
I
luck.
did. I'm
Was
lucky.
it that the bucket knew all along?
Yeah,
Was
the
the
bucket knew
bucket
it.
guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Right, so take the bucket. There was something over here. Oh, collectible!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
There are
You
collectibles!
can't
I knew
buy
it!
that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Thanks, I do. Oh, I love collectibles. Only 4 more to go. Man. So yeah, like every ending is modified now because you can pick up a bucket and taking the bucket changes the dialogue and therefore the story. This is cuckoo.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
So I just want to play through the bucket endings. Button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Skip.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Why is there no skip button? It's like if you are playing through something you've seen before, they really
The
should have
monitors
implemented a
jumped to
skip
life,
button.
and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped,
Fired.
monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as
Oh,
well?
we know
Had
it's-
the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Yush.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Okay. I don't think we're going to get all of the endings tonight.
And here was the proof.
But
The heart of the
we'll
operation.
see how many I can
Controls
get in the
labeled
next
with
15
emotions,
minutes or so.
happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Okay, off.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
What?
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Yeah, what?
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth.
Throw the bucket through the hole.
Would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Hello. Oh, that's such a horrible twist on the freedom ending. Alright, what's next?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Grab the bucket.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, so we go through all this. Oh wait, how can we find them? Oh, there's new stuff. There will be a reward for finding them all. Mission status. Oh, cool. A large room with lots of boxes. Stairs, something to his stairs. Somewhere both red and blue. And a private but smelly place for an important person. Oh, cool. It tells you where to find them. Oh, this is cool. Warehouse access plan. Produce one plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. We need more planks. Trust the completionist instinct. Thank you. Good luck. Oh, cool. Okay, nice. It's giving hints. Now we found 2 of them.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet,
Just
simply
the same
because
thing.
I have no remaining... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What happens if we go downstairs for the bucket?
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
I like
Another
mini-stands.
Stanlerine under your belt.
Oh, mini stands. What happens if we go... no. Yes. Let's see what happens if I go down here with the bucket.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
Oh, the bucket's
Who knows
gone.
what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the wounds were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
What? What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
We know we've seen this ending.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose,
Right, I think.
got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security,
Okay,
and walked
cool.
to her place of work.
So they have changed this.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
God, they even managed to change that ending with the bucket. Right, okay. Let's see, what can we do this time? So, go in, grab bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his
Boss's
arms
room and then
again,
escape
he was
route, I think.
home.
And then we just
Stanley
try the right
clutched
door.
the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his
And like,
left.
while I could do all of this without the bucket, it's the fact that this is the new content for me. So I'm like, yeah, I want to do only the new content. Plus, there's going to be in the toilet, a room full of boxes, I think is on the right, and somewhere both red and blue. Alright. There's no point going in there, because the bucket speech is boring.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Ooh, I will try that. Actually, no, you can't shut yourself into the office, because when you leave the door closed... Actually, no, maybe I'll try it. Like, being able to see if we can close the door behind us with the bucket.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Alright, okay, yes. Okay, next playthrough we're going to try and lock ourselves up.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Let's see, this time we're going to go left before we get to the mind control place. Because there's an escape option down here.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'll have to see as well if I
Although
can
this
jump out the
passageway
window
had
with the
word
bucket too.
Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Okay, violent death time it is.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Okay.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Yes, okay. Beedle, 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 beedle. Infinite hole! Hey, we found the infinite hole. That's not an infinite hole. Ooh. Wait. Is this new?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket.
no.
But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
No. No.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Uh-huh. What happened there?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in the exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Oh, we have got a museum entry for the bucket.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Inferno Bucket. A replica of the Inferno Bucket, which is in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. Bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life. Having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental, every year dozens are put to death just for attempting it. I'm pretty sure I've seen a bucket with two handles. I'm sure I have. Okay, the stress bucket. Rest and relaxation, do something you enjoy. Rest. Coping strategies. Stress, the level of water in the bucket. Okay. That's cool. We have ancient cavemen with the buckets. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket has already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitability, is for our own good. You're picturing Sage as a caveman? Oh, there's the hole! There's the hole! Go! Wait. Give me the bucket. Why are you picturing
But
Sage
there
as the
is
caveman?
something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What's that?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and
Let's
implements.
do it.
If only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
Done. I die together with my buckets. Is that it? Game over? Yeah, game over, man. Game over, man. Game over. Right. Okay, so we're going to go around the bucket and see if we can get back into
All
Stanley's
of his
office.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Let's go, let's go, let's go,
Stanley
let's go.
decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not
No.
with the bucket around.
So no, the door closes behind you when you get too far away from it. That's annoying. Right, next one. See if we...
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Right, come on. Glitch up onto the desk, please. Yep. Now, glitch over the desk. Thank you. And out the window with the bucket.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans,
Well, okay.
and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket?
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults.
What?
I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you
ew.
already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power.
What?
Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
That's a pretty dark ending. No, I did. I just read what was on the wall. I don't remember saying anything about Sage and Cavemen. If we play it back.
All of his co-workers
Oh
were
my
gone.
God! Let's
What
see
could
what
it
I actually
mean?
said.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps the
Bucket.
good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Right, this
Stanley
time
clutched the bucket
we're going through the
tightly
right
to his
door.
chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Okay, employee
And
lounge.
here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Okay, yep. This is a fun place to be. Bucket. Can she say something? That would be cool. there's that really cool painting.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Anything else?
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
There's indeed a special connection. Alright, let's move on.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Oh, so we could go left and go and see what the difference is by going down the lift there, but we never went through this way before.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Ooh, I seem to remember there being, like,
Good,
Said the
something
bucket.
special. You
now
can
ride
do.
the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No, because I want to go this way. I remember this.
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley,
Where?
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
Oh, right.
Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay, and then back in that last room there was a collectible. Right, okay, we'll definitely go back in there and have a look, see if I can find out what the big, where the glowy thing was. But here we go.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Oh no.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not
Is this
a
a
bucket.
bucket?
Okay, let's begin.
Right. Okay. How clever is Stanley? Is he dumb?
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you got it right.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Hey, I don't know how I'm getting these right. Oh, they're always right, whatever you say. But they don't have my stickers on, so therefore it's not the bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No, what is it?
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Oh, well, that was a bucket. Okay.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's
Aw.
an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up?
could be-
Absolutely incredible.
It
Let's just
it
move
could
on
be a
to the next
bucket. A pretty big, noisy bucket.
one. Is this a bucket?
Right, yeah, got this one. I know this one. Definitely, yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Yeah, see, I told you it was a bucket. I'm a genius.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I love this game show. I'm so good at it.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What? It's a bucket and not a bucket at the same time. What?
I can... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
Oh.
I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
No.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No. Don't you dare! No! Bucket!
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every
Yes.
single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
We're not
Oh,
buckets.
this is wonderful.
But the bucket's inside
We're
me.
not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game.
I love this.
So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. And
Okay.
if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Okay, I won't.
Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
This is so trippy. God, they've added so much new content for this version of the game. I'm very impressed. I didn't think there was going to be this much.
All of his co-workers
Yeah,
were
there we
gone.
go. Door
What could it
closes.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps... Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Okay. La-dee-da-dee-da, la-dee-da-dee-da. Right, door?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
No, we're going to the room with all the
Stanley had
boxes.
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
We're going back in here.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Sully
the
says
cargo lift, yes.
collectible.
Go there. Go to the cargo
Right?
lift.
Was it this room? This room have the collectible in it? Well, it's got all the boxes in it, so it's got to be here somewhere. Where? Oh, over there. Oh, okay. I see it. Do I have to, I think maybe you have to glitch over it. Can't jump, which is a bit frustrating. There we go. I glitched over it. Nice little bit of glitchy platforming. And collect them
You're
all.
getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
I will be satisfied.
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Okay, I'm going to try. The last one, the clue was somewhere it's red and blue. I think there was a place with red and blue doors. So, maybe I have to try that for that ending. Alright, hello. Hello? Right, what's this way then? Box room. Lots of boxes. What? Oh, hello?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
That's the second time they've mentioned that wizard. Interesting. Right, what's next? I've got a little bit of time, maybe. It's kind of late.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket.
I want to find the last
committed
collectible.
bucket, a bucket of culture and distinct. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Yellow.
Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left
places I can
to go
think of going
back
at
to
this
the
point.
meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Straight on after
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the... Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Go straight on after
Stanley
the
did not
room.
question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
I think so.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because
Maybe.
buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Right, so we'll try this one first.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Dark room.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Doesn't have to. I mean, you can just turn around and jump off. But let's go in here. There's a dark room.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone?
Oh.
Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Oh, God. What? That means there's another ending here as well.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
No, I don't think that'll work. No, I'm not. No.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Oh,
hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay. Hey, hiya, cat. And yeah, sorry if it's if your motion sickness is getting to you on this one, Onions. I don't think it's too bad actually. Like the head bobs. Like sometimes you get games which bob around all over the place. But yeah, Solid Strikes is definitely a more listening style game. Alright.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Right, okay. Adverts causing problems, eh, Cat? Twitch is going crazy with the adverts and stuff at the moment. If you've heard all the stuff that they're planning to do with partners as well now, like cut down the share stuff, I was like, it's, God, the economic recessions around the world at the moment are insane.
Here we go. You ready?
Right,
When
okay.
Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay. What's left for us to try here? I'm really not sure. Ooh, there's a...
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's
was
going
quick.
on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Yeah, there was.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again.
Oh, please don't.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
No, restart. Hiya, Cat.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
But yes, oh my god, I love the original Stanley Parable, and the Ultra Deluxe version is so good. Right, wait. It's back to the phone room again.
What? We're back at the phone already?
Yeah.
No.
It just resets.
Here we go. You ready?
Right.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Right, no, but I went on the door on the right. But yeah, it's such a chill game, this one.
What? We're back at the
Are you just
phone
going to repeat
already?
that?
No.
Right, okay, that's just going to be an endless loop.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
I'm looking for the red and blue room.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison.
We finished tennis.
Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it a delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar.
No, that'll work.
No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Alright, okay. Interesting ending there. He actually went through some of his jokes. Alright, so to get that fourth bucket, we have to... The fourth figurine for the bucket, we have to go through the right door and follow the narrator. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Briefly,
What could it
and
mean?
then I'm probably
Stanley
going to
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had...
The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Right, so
Stanley
right,
clutched
so
the bucket
I was actually
tightly to his
like
This was not
going
the
to
correct way
try
the
and
meeting
do
room.
that, but it
Stanley
kept
had
doing the
felt
telephone
bucket
line
calling
thing.
to him, telling him that the employee lounge
annoying.
was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No. Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, we don't. Although there is one more thing we can do by going left down there.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
Because if you don't
There's something
have the
up there I
bucket
need
with
you
you
to do.
and you jump off the cargo
Stanley
lift,
did not question why or
the
how
narrator
this
goes
bucket was
nuts,
speaking to him.
which is
It should have alarmed
absolutely
him, of
precious,
course, because buckets
but
can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious
we did it.
fact.
Right.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says,
As if
no
this works.
buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is
But
that
how
you
you doing,
actually
Cat?
don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Hopefully you
I
enjoyed your
suppose that would explain
breakaway.
a lot about your
I
behavior
saw
up to
some
this
very
point, which,
fun-looking
if that's
photos
true,
with
well,
poppers.
my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't.
This is the wrong way. I did it wrong, didn't I? It says jump off the cargo list.
Step in here for a moment.
Maybe do you have to do it without the bucket? Because this goes through the... This is just... Yeah, because this is just the bucket quiz. Let's try that again. Let's do it without the bucket. Because without the bucket, we might be able to find that last figure.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, we'll see how this goes. Still sick but alive. I'm glad you're alive, Cat. Like, I seriously am. Drastic temperature change from being in the desert for 3 weeks to 30 Fahrenheit. Oof. 30 Fahrenheit's like round about freezing, right?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I'm just saying,
And here it was, the lounge.
Made me into
But
a
eager to get back to
ranger.
business, Stanley took the
What
first open
skills
door on his left.
would you see yourself having? I don't know. What skills do Wasteland Rangers have?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
You'd die if you just
I
fall off
realize
it.
that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
I just
Are
have
you
zero
that
consideration
convinced
for
that I
you.
want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you.
There we
to
go.
show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let
There
me
it
prove.
is.
And there it is. The last
Ta-da.
Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
We did it!
This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay, we did it.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, okay, that's original content. That I only want to do new stuff. So there's one more thing I wanted to do before I finish this for today. And we might go back to it and run through the other endings. But if you've ever played the Stanley Parable, it looks like the...
Stanley, I'm
What?
sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figlets.
Uh-oh.
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
It was.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay, back to the memory zone. I'm like, I need to finish here. Come on, game. I love it though. This game just keeps on giving. When you think you've hit the end, there's more. The Stanley Parable. We get to go down the stairs this time though. Ooh.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
7 out of 6.
And here was the second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own just by poking around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Alright.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini-stair?
Oh.
Can you remember?
No, I don't remember which one we got first. Did we get the bathroom one or the stairs one first? I think it was it the stairs first? Maybe? I think the stairs? I don't remember. I honestly do not remember which one I got first.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Yeah, really? But yeah, I think it's because when we came to the stairs, I went downstairs first and then went up to the boss's bathroom. So.
Let's see. What came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No, we didn't. There was nothing in the pink room. Make stuff up. There was the bathroom was the next one.
This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh,
enjoy.
no. What? How are you found it by the narrator? It's beautiful. It's like it's made in Windows 95 Movie Maker. Yeah. Microsoft Word clip arts. That's beautiful. It's like something my students would have made. Best boy, the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Yeah, 8 minutes, I could believe. Ah, that's beautiful. Yep, Sage, you definitely do gotta love it. Alright, and then the last one.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Okay, don't think it makes a difference. Let's get it of you. You are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Huh. That was quite cool. There's a little reward. I got 12 out of 6 collectibles.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines?
No!
Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Oh, God's sake. I need to go to bed. I'm going up for work.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
How many
I must say,
collectibles
of
am I
all
getting?
the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Nope.
Yes, I love that video.
I was going to say, please don't make me watch it again. Alright. And then the pink room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
We found that one in the toilet. Like, up those stairs.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing.
One more.
Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
This place. The jumping circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
I just want to finish the game, please.
Oh, yes. The two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
I'm going to go through the right door. And then
before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
Nope.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Go back to his office. Okay, I'm kind of curious to see what
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Oh, you're right, Sage, though. They've really put a lot of thought into this to get them out.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Right, there's one more place
Stanley
I wanted to try.
Left to go back, and so the two of them
down the left
through the maintenance section
with the bucket.
and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
This is the only one that I wanted to try again. Once I've done this, I've seen every ending. But this is all of the new content. I believe there might be more.
I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh, what? We care about
you. See, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Okay, but it's the fern, the one that we studied earlier, that was supposed to be important later on in the story. It's not.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No, I'm not giving up the bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
It's just like you put
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
You put French
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Companion cube in the incinerator.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then put it into the machine when you're ready.
Well, this is a good way to finish the stream, I think. Bye, bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The
Can't even turn it off.
Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans.
Won't let me.
The fans, what they want. Hurry and...
I tried repeatedly there. It would not let me, like, throw the bucket in.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend.
Oh, no.
For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Okay. The bucket survives another day. Doesn't survive to do something another day, it just survives another day. Poor Bucket Destroyer. Okay, I honestly can't think of anything else to do with the bucket apart from... Oh no, I have just thought of something to do with it.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself.
Oh,
Minutes?
no.
Days? Centuries? Did something... Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
All right,
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an
okay.
achievement is worth?
That doesn't seem to do anything. That's good.
I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Is there anything in here about the achievements?
Still no one was here.
Nope. Okay, beginning of the game again. to do one more thing. I want to go and check out the broom closet. Wait. What?
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
That was different. Hang on, begin the game again. Okay. That was
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand.
Different
It
intro.
was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Maybe if you don't pick up the bucket, it tries to really emphasize the fact you should pick up the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'll experiment with that. I just want to go check out the broom closet. That's all I want to do. Check out the broom closet.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
So we went straight
Feeling
there.
a wave of
Yeah,
disbelief,
there it is.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I love that. Oh, what's the other?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, we've done those. So, my theory is if we begin again, you'll come out and have the bucket right in front of you. No. Weird.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh well. I absolutely love that, and I've played that for a little bit longer than I was intending to. But I think we've covered most of the new content there. Not too bad for a 3-hour run through. I hope you guys have enjoyed that as much as I did. I spent most of the last 3 hours just laughing my head off at it. You are very welcome, Princess Sully. I'm glad you got to live vicariously through me and my random explorings. If you want to see some more of this, we could potentially try to find some time in another stream to go through the other normal endings. But for me, that was my goal today, was just to check out the new content. That was so worth it. If you've not played it yourself, I still recommend this as a game for anybody to play. Even the original one, which is probably going really cheap now, but even this one I picked up for £13, which I thought for a brand new game release was decent. But yeah, I so very much recommend this game. But yeah, so the streaming wise this week, I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow night for midnight because I've got a role-playing game to run. But I will be back on Sunday, where we're hopefully getting back into our usual routine, so Final Fantasy 13 Part 2, and then get back into the normal Thursday, Friday, Sunday format. But yeah, thank you very much everyone for coming with. I'm really tired right now. I am going to pay for this tomorrow. Oh, I'm so going to pay for this tomorrow. But either way, just quickly check in. I think I'm just going to call it a night here. So huge thank you to everyone for dropping by today. Thank you for keeping company. Glad a lot of you seem to enjoy it, which is super cool. And yep, Sage, we will find some time to talk about game stuff another time. But you take care of yourselves. Whatever you guys have got planned this weekend, I hope it's super good for you. And hopefully I'll catch many of you on Sunday. Look after yourselves, take care, be safe, and I'll see you next time. That's me. Bye bye.